The drafters of our new OECS education sector strategy paper, that will be a focal point for our discussion over the next couple of days, point to the need for a step change in our education sector policy, and further, to the need for an emphasis on the use of data to evaluate the impact of the new strategies on specific outcomes for learners. I believe, therefore, that this conference affords us all the opportunity to further our respective educational agendas as OECS member states through an examination of the current issues and trends in and confronting education, taken with the myriad challenges in every other sector impacting upon and constraining education policy development. I believe that we will agree upon broadly the same imperatives as follows: improved quality and role of educational leadership and management, improved quality of teaching and learning backed by assessment, improved curricular programming to meet the needs of students and the needs of the wider society, improved use of data and knowledge management systems, and improved accountability at all levels, among other important things. As we pursue our individual agendas as OECS member states, we must be ever cognizant of the need for and value in harmonization, which has been one of the binding elements of the OECS integration process. I agree with the drafters of our concept paper that our collaborative efforts are driven, as they ought, I suspect, by our politics and our economics, which are largely inextricable. Our national priorities run the gamut from early childhood to tertiary education, from violence prevention and mitigation to gender and academic mainstreaming of TVET, technical and vocational education and training, among other important priorities. As a clear demonstration, just over a week ago, we saw the conclusion of a 2-week training workshop for preschool workers. This is an annual event on my ministry's calendar as an attempt to bring a sustained focus on early childhood training and education as an investment toward economic sustainability. To improve access to early childhood care and education, we are in the process of finalizing the construction of a state-of-the-art facility at St. Paul's, and plans are underway to construct 2 additional learning and administrative centers over the next 3 to 4 years. Professional development has always been high on our agenda. The month of April of this year saw professional training sessions for all of our principals, education officers, curriculum officers, and guidance counselors. We believe that capacity building in leadership will promote greater efficiency and so improve the delivery and quality of education to all of our young people. Clinical supervision and teacher appraisals are ongoing and form part of our professional development agenda. We are ensuring that those teachers who need assistance are given the necessary professional help to improve their teaching practice. My ministry has recently proposed a career path framework to provide a clear route of upward mobility for the educational practitioner who is seeking career fulfillment in the field of education. As we further professionalize our corps of teachers, we see in the near future mandatory pre-service training for those wishing to enter the teaching profession. However, in the meantime, our induction program and summer courses provide a rich orientation and development activity for prospective teachers. Simultaneously, our local teacher training programs have to be enhanced to offer more relevant training for technical teachers, early childhood teachers, and teachers in the area of special education. I made earlier reference to the subject matter of TVET, technical and vocational education and training, as a highly prioritized area of focus for the Ministry of Education. To realize our vision, a short-term to medium-term plan has recently, as recent as March of this year, been developed by the ministry and highly supported and approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. We deem it an imperative to provide our students with a relevant training to meet the local, regional, and global demands of the workplace. We are driven by our goal to turn out more and better equipped, better qualified builders, mechanics, engineers, and tourism sector workers and specialists to bridge the gap between school and the world of work, to reduce unemployment, inequity, and antisocial tendency, to spur entrepreneurship, to augment economic competitiveness, and to improve the quality of life for our citizenry. We are challenging the traditional perceptions about appropriate roles for males and females, so that we perceive that our chefs and cooks can be males or females. Our dentists can be either. Our engineers, our builders, our technicians, our land surveyors will not be distinguished according to gender. Hence, we have developed a policy of gender mainstreaming in TVET, aiming to increase the participation of females in this particular area and to help them create more sustainable futures and reduced social exclusion for themselves and their families. Moreover, TVET is no longer the reserve of the academically challenged. We are promoting the academic mainstreaming of TVET and will be requiring every student at secondary school to pursue a TVET discipline. Yes, we have challenges in our schools, and to specifically address the behavioral challenges, the principles of CFS, or Child-Friendly Schools framework, will be integrated into our school procedures starting in September of this year. The purpose of the CFS, or Child-Friendly School model, is to improve schools and the overall education system while considering the needs of students particularly, and teachers in addition. As we adequately prepare our teachers and students along the guidelines of the CFS model, we are confident that we can reduce to a minimum the incidence of deviant behavior in our schools and communities, promote longevity in schools, and improved outlook for boys and girls in at-risk groups. And I can go on. Should I? The one-to-one laptop project continues to be on the front burner for the Ministry of Education. All of the secondary school students in the Federation, both public and private schools, have received a laptop. And we must thank our partners and colleagues from the Republic of China and Taiwan for their very kind gesture, magnanimous gesture in fact. As we speak, the EduNet framework that will provide wireless access at all public secondary schools is being finalized. This marks a huge step forward in the delivery of a most relevant education to all of our students. All of our secondary school teachers have been exposed to the basics of ICT integration in teaching and learning. But this mandate must continue, as in a very real way, students continue to be ahead of teachers with regard to the use of ICTs. We are aware, ladies and gentlemen, that the mere placement of ICT tools and other tools in the hands of students and even teachers will not bring osmotic changes in teaching and learning outcomes by themselves. In fact, we are very mindful that doing things as the concept paper wants is not nearly the equivalent of achieving things, achieving our goals and objectives. Therefore, we must continue to develop and strengthen the frameworks in which the tools, resources, and ideas available to us can be put to the most effective and most efficient use. This OECS Ministers of Education meeting is one big step in that direction, I'm convinced. I could have spoken about our Agana project, on which we have collaborated with the USAID. Thank you, Mr. Mansfield Blackwood. We can talk about many other things, but I believe that we must move on. The draft paper before us, ministers and delegates, highlights in our case some of the most potent challenges and their resolutions. It summarizes the recent key conclusions of Armstrong 2011. It outlines and contextualizes and interleaves the UNESCO imperatives for learning for the 21st century. It captures Jules's 2001 illustration of those imperatives. We undoubtedly have a solid base and basis for our diligent work and thoughtful consideration over the ensuing days. I want to thank the Permanent Secretary and all members of the Ministry of Education, other ministries, for example, the Human Resource Department and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for the hard work that they have done to attempt to make this meeting a success. Tonight is just a start. Let us give them an applause, please. And so, in conclusion, I extend fondest regards to all of the delegates to this 22nd Ministers' meeting, and may I urge you to take time to experience our Kittitian hospitality beyond the Marriott Hotel. See for yourselves, delegates, ministers, friends, why although St. Kitts and Nevis was recently listed by Hospitality Times among the 10 smallest islands in the world, US News and World Report has recently ranked us number 3 on the list of the 10 best islands in the entire world. And so let me just remind you that although sugar is no longer king in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are still vibrantly and vivaciously Sugar City. Thank you very much, and may you enjoy.